Hi everyone, welcome to Toxiscandia, Stories of a Toxicologist living in Scandinavia. My name is Sveta and today I would like to tell you about 5 things that any toxicologist would never do. So these are things that come with this profession, I would say, something that we know is harmful for you. That is why this is something that we would avoid and would try to never do in our lives. If you're interested in this topic, what 5 things I am talking about, please continue watching this video. For those who maybe don't know exactly what toxicologists do, we deal with harmful and hazardous chemicals, trying to find them, trying to detect their hazards, and trying to make our environment, our surroundings better and toxin-free. There are toxins that occur naturally in things that we can find on our planet, and there are of course toxins in chemicals, in substances that we produce ourselves as humans, and toxins are actually everywhere, so we just need to deal with them. This is the job of a toxicologist. And there are certain things that expose us to chemicals, to harmful toxins, more than other things. And I would talk about top 5 things that I would never do as a toxicologist. So we will start with the first one and the top one, I would say. I would never smoke. Of course, we are all humans, and you will probably find smoking people among toxicologists as well, and you will find those who maybe smoke occasionally but don't smoke on a regular basis. But if you ask any of them, they will tell you that smoking is really harmful and really hazardous for your health, and I support that completely, because chemicals and substances that we can find, especially in cigarettes, those that we can buy from the store, not the ones that we make ourselves, or one can make ourselves by rolling tobacco. So cigarettes are very rich in toxic chemicals and various carcinogens. So this is something that I would definitely avoid if I was any person, and especially as a toxicologist. There are also heavy metals that are found in cigarettes. They can harm your kidneys and also your nervous system, and leave long-term irreversible effects that would make your health much worse. So I think everyone is aware of dangers of smoking, but still, unfortunately, a lot of people smoke. And I would not tell you something new by telling this, that smoking is hazardous. Of course, there are a bunch of lung diseases that one can get from smoking. There are also cardiovascular diseases that have smoking as the main risk factor of development of these diseases. So there are a lot of reasons to avoid smoking and to avoid inhaling substances in general, because there are also vaping and other types of cigarettes, such as electronic cigarettes, and there maybe there are not that many known carcinogens or other toxins, but there are a lot of substances that we don't know of, because these types of smoking things are not that well researched. So maybe we will know in a couple of decades about long-term effects. So I would avoid smoking as a toxicologist, smoking of cigarettes, smoking of tobacco, and other kind of inhalations of other kinds, because I don't want to be a guinea pig in this process. Some years we will find out whether there are long-term negative effects or not. Number 2, using a lot of dietary supplements and also self-prescribed drugs. Here I would talk about both supplements and drugs. With supplements, maybe you have heard that they are not as well regulated as medicines, and it is kind of a gray area. It is not really regulated by food agencies, neither drug agencies. So sometimes they are not regulated at all. Of course, it depends on the country, but in general, they have producers of supplements have much more freedom to put different substances in their supplements, and they can be there on purpose, like something that you would not read on the label. But there are occasions where really harmful toxins and even hard drugs are found in some types of supplements, and there can also be substances that occur by accidents. Some contamination on the plant or during manufacturing process is very possible if we're speaking about natural supplements that come from plants. Plants are prone to absorb all the toxins and heavy metals from the soil, so this will also come naturally into the supplement. So this is something that I would definitely avoid, especially not prescribed by a physician. And in best case scenario, the supplements just will not be effective, but in worst case scenario, they can be really harmful. And there have been a lot of cases around the world, unfortunately, when people needed liver transplant or even died because of some substances, toxic substances in this dietary supplements. Speaking about drugs, self-prescribed drugs, I mean medicines, here it is always very good to have control by physician, because medicines themselves may not be harmful and maybe even effective for your condition, but there are always mixture effects that professionals need to think about. This can be a pharmacist or a physician that would advise you on that. But if these medicines are completely self-prescribed, you would not be aware of these mixture effects. And at least what you could do, of course, read the instructions. There are usually contraindications or mixture effects with other drugs. So the instructions will tell you that this drug cannot be taken with other type of medicine. But better, of course, not to use self-prescribed medicines at all. There are, of course, drugs that we use like ibuprofen, acetaminophen, I don't know, anything that you can buy without a prescription. And these medicines, of course, we have to use, but we don't use them on regular basis usually, and we usually don't mix them with other medicines. But on the longer time period, if we start using several medicines simultaneously, mixture effects are very likely. And also one should think about mixing different kind of medicines with alcohol. This can also be an issue. So if you want to stay healthy, better not use anything unusual apart from ibuprofen or something simple like that. I would not recommend anyone to use self-prescribed medicines or dietary supplements on a regular basis, and I would not do this as a toxicologist myself. Number 3, use too much disinfectants at home. Disinfectants are chemicals that we can use for cleaning, and they may include some antibiotics that would fight bacteria directly, or just some strong chemicals that would kill everything that is on the surface. There are actually 2 reasons why I wouldn't use too much disinfectants at my home. First of all, they are used to remove bacteria, to remove microbes from surfaces and maybe from your skin. And they usually don't discriminate, and they remove anything that they find. So good bacteria are also removed, and usually when we remove good ones, there is usually small fraction of those that are resistant or even multi-resistant to different antibiotics. Usually this a huge crowd of good bacteria, they keep this small harmful group in control, so they don't let them multiply, and they stay a small group. But if we remove all the good bacteria, then this multi-resistant bacteria remains, and then it can jump from the surfaces to our body, inside our body, and then we may get very sick with microbe that will not respond to drugs, to antibiotics very well. This is a bit of a scary scenario for me and for any health professional, I would say. So that is why I would recommend avoiding too much disinfecting substances at your home. Another reason, the second one, is that these disinfecting cleaning products are usually very aggressive. They have strong chemicals as ingredients, and these substances can sometimes even penetrate skin and get into your system, into your blood, into your organs, and they can be harmful by inhalation when you inhale vapors from these chemicals. So this is another reason to avoid these strong cleaning products, and I would definitely do that as a toxicologist. Number 4, follow strict diets and eating regimens. I mean following some eating regimen that was not prescribed by your physician for a long period, usually to lose weight. And often these diets, they contain very restricted amount of food, and often very special foods that come in a huge amount, and other foods are left out. Why this can be harmful from a toxicological point of view? Because all foods, as everything that occurs in our life, can be toxic, and many foods actually contain a little amount of toxins. A good example is rice, which contains a little bit of arsenic. But if we consume normal amount of rice, like 2-3 times a week, this amount of arsenic is negligible. It cannot affect us in any way. Our body can cope, and this is not harmful for us. But imagine starting eating rice 3 times a day, every day, then we will get a lot of arsenic, and this can affect our nervous system, first of all, our kidneys, a lot of other organs and systems. So this can be really dangerous. That is why focusing on specific foods and avoiding other foods, it's not good for you. And this strict eating regimen, it's always a risk. So balanced diet, balanced food consumption, and a variety of different foods, it's the best way to eat in any case. And even if you are trying to lose weight, there are ways to do that without going on a strict diet with specific foods that you can eat. You can still eat in a balanced way, but just eat less calories. It is possible. And especially if you don't want to think about these toxins in your food, if you don't want to follow all the ingredients that might be dangerous for you or not, you can just choose various foods, balanced, nutritious diet, and in this case the risk to you that comes from food will be minimized, even without you doing anything special, just by eating different foods. That's simple as that. And number 5 is from category I wish. I would say, as a toxicologist, I would avoid too much stress in my life and driving myself to exhaustion. This is, of course, very general recommendation from any health professional, I would say, and it is also quite hard to accomplish in our daily lives. But first of all, why should we do that? How is it connected with our physical health? I don't think it will be a surprise to anyone that stress and exhaustion, they are important risk factors for many diseases. And first of all, immune system will suffer, and you will get more prone to infections, and also from a toxicological point of view, you will get more vulnerable for toxins. Imagine when your body is in full strength, if it's well rested, not stressed, then of course it has a lot of resources to cope with different toxins that come inside. And if you are stressed and exhausted, of course your base level sinks, and then you cannot respond to anything that comes from the environment in the same way. So this is actually a very important risk factor to diseases, to infections, and also to toxin exposure that can be harmful in case your body cannot cope with it in a normal way. Mental health, of course, has to be taken care of in order to remain healthy physically. And first step in fighting toxins, I would say, is to remain mentally and physically healthy on a basis level, and then you can start doing other things that I mentioned or I haven't mentioned in this video. There are of course other recommendations, but if you are constantly stressed, if you are not sleeping well, if you're exhausted, of course you will be more vulnerable to anything in this world. That is why you should start with getting your things in order and taking care of yourself in all the ways possible. So these were 5 things that I would never do as a toxicologist, or I would try to avoid doing. Of course, you cannot avoid stress, unfortunately, in your daily life, but you can try to minimize it, as I'm trying as well. I hope this was useful for you, and I hope this brought you maybe some insights, some things that you could change in your life. And if it's so, please click the like button. You can also subscribe to my channel, click the notification button to get notifications about my future videos. And I wish you all good luck. I hope you stay healthy and strong, and see you next time. Bye bye.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire.